Well, watch for Colin McMillan in the red trunks. I really was very impressed with him a few weeks ago here at London Arena. A relative newcomer on the professional scene, McMillan, 23-year-old from Barking. He's won 4 and lost 1 as a pro, but he's a terrific stylist. Tends to admire his work sometimes and might just lack a real powerful dig, but he's got some really smart moves and makes this boxing game sometimes look like real art. His opponent tonight, Marcel Herbert, out of Newport. Turned pro in August, and he's won 3 out of 4 so far. And he knows he's up and has got a very tough fight on his hands tonight. Just 2-minute rounds, these. Top-class featherweight, McMillan. And that tendency to admire his work and drop his hands cost him decisions in the 87 and 88 ABA finals against Peter English and Dave Anderson. But I remember seeing him in the London ABAs, and he won 4 of those titles with Barking. And Alan Minter, I think you shared my admiration of McMillan last time we saw him here at London Arena.
Yeah, he looks very good. He's got every punch in the book, and he throws them, but he might be a little bit clever for his own good, because he throws them plenty of punches, but he does get caught every now and again, Jim.
Giving away a few pounds to Marcel Herbert. And he's got a lot of speed in those punches. End of the first round. Brendan Ingle in Colin McMillan's corner. He's self-managed. 4 wins and just the 1 defeat. Hurt his left hand in his last fight against O'Malley here. And that's Marcel Herbert. No amateur record to speak of. And in his last fight, he outpointed Belfast Mike Close, and that was over 6 rounds in Leicester. Stevie Sims in his corner with Marcel Herbert. The only defeat on his record, cut right eyebrow, cost him that unbeaten record against a fellow called Alan Mackay at Bethnal Green, and he'd beaten Mackay as an amateur. Second round then. And let's just see if McMillan can show touches of his real class. Still a relative novice at the professional game. And I think he knows that he's got to step up his work rate a bit. And he's up against a fella who's a tough, rugged customer, Alan. He's not at all bemused by the footwork or the flashy punches in front of him.
No, I was going to say, it's all right talking about McMillan being clever and cocky and flash, but this Marcel Herbert means business. You know, he's sticking to his work, and he's trying some lovely punches and hard punches.
McMillan just a little bit open, and Herbert made him pay. He's got to do a bit more work, certainly, McMillan, and we pointed out that he has got a habit of standing back and admiring things, but he hasn't given himself too much to admire in this second round, and he's getting caught.
So the thing is, Jim, anyone can pose. You can pose if you can knock him out with 1 punch, but McMillan can't do that, so he's got to throw plenty of punches, which he's not doing.
Good combination from McMillan. So he's hearing Alan Minter at ringside. He's just got to step his work rate up, and really with just only 2-minute rounds, he's got no reason for hanging about at all. I think he appreciates he gets more time to develop his fight as a professional than he ever did as an amateur, which was always a bit of a sprint. And he's come on pretty well in the last half minute or so of this second round. Very elusive character too, McMillan. Fair bit of success for Colin McMillan. And Frankie Taylor of the People newspaper, one of the most respected judges of the boxing game, said McMillan's the most stylish prospect he's seen in years, a featherweight version of Sugar Ray Robinson and Leonard. Well, that's lavish praise to live up to, although he does look like Leonard. But he has already made quite an impression, McMillan, and if he's not careful, the publicity will be a bit of a burden on his shoulders. But he's a bright lad, 7 O levels and 3 A levels. Still works for British Telecom. And there were just signs to me towards the end of that round that Marcel Herbert was beginning to get a little bit discouraged and a bit ragged. And we'll see if McMillan can profit from that in a few seconds' time. Third round then, the stylish Colin McMillan in the red trunks just starting to get going in the second, although he dawdled around and posed on occasions against the tough fella from Newport, Marcel Herbert. And McMillan is really getting through well now, and Herbert's just been to look wild and ragged, and McMillan is getting in, scoring, and then getting out of range. Showing a bit of quality, Alan.
Yeah, lovely combination by McMillan. I like that. You know, the way he dances around and throws the leather, very much similar to Sugar Ray Leonard. But I mean, Marcel Herbert is very dangerous. You can't take liberties. You can't drop your hands because one punch can finish a fight like that.
Just another variation in his repertoire. I noticed that McMillan switching to southpaw to try and confuse Herbert. And their heads rubbing together there, and it's certainly in Herbert's interest to try and get inside and rough McMillan around a bit, because at distance he's a bit of a ponderous target, and this sort of stuff will suit Herbert down to the ground. He'll keep him on those ropes for as long as he can, and McMillan's really got to get off there. It's no good for him to have a hitting match on the ropes, and he's got off in a fair bit of style, turned his man as well. The crowd have enjoyed that. Great skills from McMillan. I thought he was trapped there, but a bit of nimble footwork and he was out of bother. But I don't think it's in his interest to let this get involved into a crash-bang match. Do you, Alan?
No, I mean, we know what he does best, that's the boxer move. But when you get one man having a fight, then it tends to draw the opponent in. But it's a very exciting fight at this stage.
And he's going back to that jab again, McMillan. Enjoyable fight, this one. Looking at Colin McMillan, his only defeat on a cut, and he's had microsurgery on that injury, so that shouldn't trouble him again. But he had trouble here, Alan, when he got pinned on the ropes, and he seemed to stay on there a little bit too long for my liking until he got out of bother.
Yeah, he took a few body punches, but he's a bit cute and a bit smart. He did turn Herbert and come out with his own very good punches.
McMillan's been over in New York working in the Gleason's gymnasium. Brendan Ingle, of course, Harold Graham's trainer. I think he's telling him he's crazy, but I think he's probably trying to hammer home that McMillan might just have an easier job out there than he thinks. Fourth round then, and after some stern words from Brendan Ingle in the corner, will we see fireworks from McMillan? Well ahead on points because of the accuracy of his punching and his all-round skills. But occasionally have been just too much for Herbert. But while he's there, he's got a hope. The Welshman. Tactically, Alan, he's fighting a good fight here, because he must realise he, once again, probably not strong enough to do imminent damage to Herbert, but he's got the skills, and he might as well let those do the talking for him for the next couple of rounds.
He's tried to have a fight and to gain Herbert's respect, but Brendan Ingle's definitely said to him in that round, before this round, double jab, you know, throw plenty of jabs and move and keep your punches coming, which he's doing.
I think he wants to break his heart, not break his chin. And he's scoring so cleanly with those combinations, McMillan. There were some suggestions that in his last fight he thought it was going to be 6 2-minute round, and it turned out to be 8. It wasn't in fact entirely true, but at least it showed when it went 8 rounds that he's got the stamina to go the full distance. And that was a good shot there. Herbert's head jerked back, and another one coming in. And for the first time in the fight, the stronger man, Herbert, is forced to go backwards.
Yeah, what he did there, Jim, he turned southpaw, cut McMillan, and was getting some great punches off. Looked very good.
More good shots coming in from McMillan, who has done well in this round again, and he's building up a very commanding lead. Well, warm ripple of applause for Colin McMillan, the 23-year-old from Barking, as he goes back to his corner. He learned a lot in the amateur game, lost to men like Havard and Hodkinson in the ABAs, and fought for England 75 times, I should say, and won 60 of those. And just occasionally, Alan McMillan does look a very classy prospect. What a good shot that was.
Yeah, lovely shot. I mean, there again, Jim, he's turned southpaw again, and he's getting some beautiful punches off.
Well, he won every round in his last fight here against Middlesbrough's Graham O'Malley.
You got me real, come on.
And Marcel Herbert, I don't think he's won many rounds here so far, but he's got the power. 5th round. And we just perhaps look towards McMillan and hope he'll provide us with a flourishing finish, although at the moment this one does look like a distance fight, although of course, Alan, it's always dangerous to say that. But can you see him actually stopping him? Yeah,
I think McMillan, if he puts his punches together and pressures Herbert, yeah, he could stop him. But then saying that, Herbert's very, very gutsy and very determined to make the fight go the distance. So it's anybody's, really.
I don't want to hedge my bets, but all of a sudden Herbert does look a bit tired. The mouth is gaping open, and he seems to be breathing a bit heavily in this 5th round. Might just be trying to con McMillan into committing himself. But he's stringing things together so well there, McMillan. Once again, a combination. Once again, cleverly off the ropes too. I just hope, Alan, you look at him, and we're saying here, if only he had a bit of a harder dig, and how much of a handicap is that going to be when he really makes progress?
I should say it's well, as we know, it's a very big handicap. It's lovely to be a boxer and to move and jab and be very, very clever, but you do need a one-punch finish.
I suppose if you look at the likes of Jim Watt, for example, he didn't do too badly without having a really big shot, did he?
No, yeah, but Jim was very cute as well, very, very cute.
Anyway, let's concentrate on what McMillan has, and at the moment he has to show a few of his defensive skills on the ropes, and that's all a little bit untied in for the first time in this contest. Reg Thompson has to have a word. And the corner want him to finish the round with a sprint, and McMillan will keep going until the final bell. Well, it's a cracking fight, this one, and in fairness to Marcel Herbert, only been a pro for a few months. He's played full part in it, but it's the skills of McMillan that I'm sure people will be talking about at the end, unless I've read the fight completely wrong. He's well ahead on points. Just putting together flurries like that, and really you saw the good and the bad of McMillan there. A lovely flurry, and then he just sat back and admired it a bit, and Herbert got out of trouble. But he's got a lot going for him, Colin McMillan. And they're just telling him that there's just a couple of minutes to go.
No, don't get in a fight. Get up on this town and box his ears off big on. Because he's going to be right across that ring throwing bombs at you. Oh, nice clever boxer.
Well, you heard it as well as I did. Box his ears off. That's what Brendan Ingle said to Colin McMillan, and that's what he wants him to do in these last couple of minutes. They're looking for a grandstand finish, and Herbert says, if you want to come and do that to me, that'll suit me just fine. Caught him well there, Herbert. Been a good effort from the Welshman, Alan.
Yeah, I tell you, he's very durable. It's all right for Brendan Ingle to say to McMillan, you know, box and jab his head off. But don't forget, Herbert's still in the fight, and he's dangerous all the time.
Again, momentarily, McMillan switching to that southpaw stance, and he's had some success with that change of tactics. And Herbert probably knowing that he needs a stoppage to get the decision. Must gamble in the last minute. Good combination came in from McMillan, but Herbert just walked right through it. He's a strong boy, and he's soaking up quite a lot of punishment. In fact, he's soaking up the best shots that McMillan can throw. And everybody at the London Arena has enjoyed this one. Both of them will get a fair round of applause at the end, Alan. Your thoughts quickly?
Well, I've got McMillan winning in front, but all due respects to Herbert, because he's been in the fight from round one, and he's courageous and he's very durable, and he's still trying now.
And he caught him well there with a little left. And McMillan glared at him as if to say, you can't do that to me, but he did. And they're going to be going at it right until the final bell. Good fight, this one. Good contrast in styles, and Herbert goes optimistically to the referee. He won't get it. McMillan will. And he's won it comfortably from my point of view. A few boos from the crowd here at London Arena, but no doubt about the winner, Colin McMillan. A comfortable points victory. And we'll see a lot more of this young man.